Tua, congrats on landing in Miami. I want to ask you, when you heard your name called and when you got that call from the Dolphins, what first crossed your mind?
Man, that it was a dream come true, man, to be able to have this opportunity. I mean, I'd honestly like to just thank, owner Stephen Ross. I'd like to thank GM Chris Greer. I also like to thank Coach Flores. I mean, for giving me this opportunity. This is special for not just me, but for my family as well.
Next, we're going to go with Hal.
Hi, Tua. Thanks for joining us and congratulations. What are going to be your plans now, given the distance and where you are? When do you expect to come to Miami? Where are you going to spend most of your training leading up to training camp?
Well, with the given circumstances, I'm just gonna be talking to the coaches, kind of seeing how we're gonna go about doing things as an organization. And I mean, from there, really, we just gotta hope and pray that everything works out, and that, I mean, we can get back to spending time as a team. I think for me, the most important thing is probably getting I mean, everyone's phone number on the team and just creating relationships, maybe starting out with the quarterbacks and then working my way down to the linemen, or starting with the linemen, but just creating relationships a little at a time, especially during times like this. It's hard, so I think that'd be best.
We're going to go to Omar next.
Tua, you said earlier that you felt confident that you could play in 2020. What makes you confident? And did the Dolphins talk to you about what their plans for you were?
Well, I think what makes me confident in the aspect of me being able to play would be what the doctors have told me. As far as rehab, as far as the medical rechecks, I've checked off all the boxes. And so that's what I've been really standing on, and that's kind of what I've been going with. That's why I would say I've been really encouraged to say that I'm able to play if need be. But I think the biggest thing for me right now is just being able to take it in, soak it in, enjoy it with my family, and get to work.
Chris Perkins.
Hey, Tua, I'm not sure if you've kept up with all of the fans' expectations and hopes and dreams with you, but are you prepared to deal with that? And do you think at any time you would ever tell the fans to chill out, or would you tell them, keep hyping me up, let's enjoy this?
Man, I think that's something that is out of my control. I can't control whether the fans like me, whether the fans dislike me. And so for me, I'd say it's all about worrying about what I can control. I could Dolphins, but it's what you do from here on out. It's how you do. I mean, you just look forward to getting your playbook, understanding it, trying to get good at it. And if an opportunity is presented, possible.
Go to Mike Cunha.
Hey, Tua, congrats on being selected by the Dolphins. First of all, just kind of curious, working and playing at Alabama, obviously the spotlight's on you there. It's obviously the biggest program in the nation. How do you think that's helped prepare you for the NFL?
Well, I would say I think Alabama's prepared me with how hard everything was there. It wasn't just the workouts. It wasn't just the guys you were competing against, but it was also the coaching. It was also your nutrition. It was just everything. Your academics, everything was made hard. And it was really about embracing hard and kind of how you become successful through those hard times.
Adam Beasley.
Tua, congratulations and welcome to Miami. What are your goals as a quarterback in the National Football League?
Man, I would say, first off, I just want to be able to get the ball rolling as far as understanding my plays. I just want to know my plays, build relationships in the quarterback room, build relationships with guys in the locker room, and also getting to know more about the coaching staff and building relationships with them as well.
We're going to go to Mike Girardi.
Tua, congratulations. I just wanted to ask you, in terms of this process, was there any frustration with all the talk about your health and whether or not that hip was going to hold up and if it might drop you down boards? Did you get a little nervous there at points?
I would say I didn't get nervous at all. For me and my family, the biggest thing was whoever decided to take a chance on us, whoever decided to pick me up, that's where I belonged. And like I said, I'm very grateful and honored that I have this opportunity to play for this organization. My biggest thing is I'm trying to prove that this was the right decision for the organization.
Safid.
Hey, Tua, how would you say your relationship or your developing relationship with Brian Flores and Chris Greer has gone throughout this draft process leading up to tonight?
Yeah, it's continuing to grow, and that's my biggest thing. We created it at the combine, and I got to talk to Coach Flores and Chris, as well as Stephen Ross on Zoom calls, maybe about 3 times in 1 month. So once every week almost. And so I got to speak to them and build my relationship in that sense. But now that I'm a part of the organization, it can only go up from here.
Joe Shad.
Hey, Tua, congratulations. I wanted to ask, how will you approach having a 37-year-old veteran quarterback like Ryan Fitzpatrick available to you, and what, if anything, do you know about Ryan?
Oh man, I would say it's first off just being able to understand the kind of person he is. I know he's been a great leader for this organization. He's been a great team player. And I mean, guys like that, he's played behind Jameis Winston, and then he has an opportunity to play here. He has so much knowledge of the game to where, I think it's best that I pick him, nitpick him, ask him, how he goes about preparing for a defense. What are the differences between, this and this, and just being able to question him and learn under him, I think is going to be my biggest thing.
Jarrett Bell.
Hey, hi, Tua. How you doing? Congratulations on your pick.
Thank you.
Yeah. So last year there was all of this talk about tank for Tua. How did that strike you back when that was going on? And then how ironic is it that you end up with the Dolphins?
Yeah, I would say the funniest thing is I haven't really heard too much of it last year. It was more so after the national championship from our loss to Clemson.
Right.
When I heard most of it. But that's I would say, that's yes, I'm very grateful and honored that the fans think so highly of me. But I mean, it's a different ball game. what I did in college can't translate to the NFL. It's a clean slate. And so what I got to do is I got to go out there and earn my respect and earn the trust from my teammates. It's really not. It's how you go about.
Cam Wolf.
Hey, Tua, how familiar are you with Dan Marino and the Dolphins past? And have you thought about what number you may have to pick because 13 might be off the books?
Oh yeah, for me, I'm not too worried about what number I have. I understand number 13 is retired, and I mean it should be. Dan Marino, he's a GOAT. He's like the mayor out there, and I have much respect for him. But whatever number I'm given by that organization, if it's 78, 99, which is, I'll wear it. It doesn't matter. I just want to have an opportunity to go out there and have some fun spinning the ball.
Adam Beasley.
Do you expect to compete to start this year? Do you expect to compete to play, or have they told you that this is going to be a redshirt year for you?
I just expect to go out there. I'm going to go out there and compete as if I'm preparing to be the starter, even if I'm not going to be a starter right away or, the entire season. But I think that has to be the mindset, because you go in there and competition is usually always healthy. It's usually always healthy, and you not only get yourself better by doing it, but you get the other guy better, and you get the entire quarterback room better that way.
Omar?
What has this year been like for you? I mean, with so much expectation about you coming out in the draft and then the 2 injuries and now, the rehab and this whole draft process, if you had to put this in words to maybe your grandkids 40 years from now, what would you tell them this was like?
Man, I would tell them this has probably been the hardest process for me to go through. I've gone through a lot, with making this decision. I went to Nashville. I went through that tornado that came through. My car got destroyed. I'm going through rehab during that process. And then there's a lot of uncertainty at the same time. There was just a lot of things piling up. So I just tell them that was probably this was probably the most difficult time for me in my life.
Chris Perkins.
Wow, Tua. I was going to ask you about your injury history, and do you think you should have still been the number 1 drafted quarterback? But tell me about your car being destroyed in Nashville. What happened there?
Yeah, so it was. I believe it was March 3rd. It was about 1:00 in the morning. Sirens were going off, and I was sleeping. I ended up waking up to like, I guess, warnings on my phone. And like right when I woke up, about 3-4 minutes later, a tornado just swoops right over my complex, destroys my car and everything there. So it was pretty bad.
We're going to go to Travis, who has a question from a fan from our draft party right now.
Hey, what's going on, Tua? This comes in from Jason from Fort Myers. What would you say your best attribute from an intangible standpoint is?
Oh, that's a good question, Jason. Man, for me, I've said this many times. I'm not one to really speak on myself or really speak about what I'm good at. I try to let kind of others do that. So yeah, I'm not too sure. I just like to go out there, compete, have fun, and then try my best to win games.
Travis, you want to go with the second one there?
Sir, this is from Stephanie from Miami. What are you looking forward to most about playing in Miami?
Oh man, I played there once. I played there against Oklahoma in the Orange Bowl. But man, I'm just looking forward to an opportunity to play in front of the fans. Play with my new teammates, just kind of get the feel of everything, get into the groove with everything.
All right, guys, we're going to do two more. Right now, we're going to go with Hal.
Tua, tell us about the phone call when the Dolphins called you and said they're picking you. Who'd you talk to? How'd that conversation go?
Yeah, I got to talk to everyone. I got to talk to Coach Flores. I got to talk to the GM, Chris Greer. I got to talk to the owner, Stephen Ross. And man, it was awesome. You know, it was very emotional for me and my family. It hasn't just been a dream of mine to make this happen. It's been my entire family's dream. And you know, I'm blessed to say that I carry all of them up here with me.
Final question for Ruthie.
Tua, congratulations. I'm curious what Brian Flores has told you about what he's trying to build in Miami and how you feel like you can contribute to the culture, the mindset, whatever it is that he's told you about.
Well, I would say what Coach Flores said was, you know, I want you to know that you know, we think you're very special. They think highly of me. But they were just really excited. Being on the phone call with him, he was just really excited. And then he also had his kids. You know, he also had his kids kind of hop on the phone and kind of say hello and say congratulations. So that was pretty cool.